Hey there, MattCat319 here, and I just want to talk about cats and dogs. Now, I have always been a cat person, hence the name. Yeah, okay. And I've never owned a dog until just actually quite recently. About 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, my brother was in a relationship with a girl, and they felt it would be a good idea to maybe start breeding Cane Corsos. Now, I just want to say, cane breeding is not something anybody should do. It's not. It's actually not recommended outside of professional, veterinary care. So, my brother had him and his partner at the time got two Cane Corso puppies. Very expensive, like $1,500 each. Surprisingly, though, they kept these dogs for about 6 months. Ended up breaking up, which eventually led to the girl, the ex, having to take care of both dogs. This led to one of the dogs obviously being put in a cage for most of the day. Now, my brother didn't want this to happen. He, even though was in a relationship with the girl, he didn't want, knowing that his dog is now in a cage for like 6 hours a day. That drove him crazy. After a month went by, my brother's moping around depressed, right? And he's in our house, a household filled with cats, no dogs, hasn't been a dog in this house ever. And it was kind of depressing seeing my brother like that. Of course, for my parents, it was even worse. It got to a point where they even asked me if it would be okay if we brought this little dog into the house. I, being my brother, didn't want my brother to be upset about something like this, and it was up to me. I wanted to make sure that he, isn't depressed. And plus, it's a baby, it's a dog in a cage. So my brother did a recon mission, went to his ex's house, got the dog out of the cage, even actually hijacked the whole cage. But either way, I believe that they're on talking terms, the ex and my brother. But nevertheless, we now have a Cane Corso. And this was about 2 years ago. She's I think 2 years old now. But she's also about 120 pounds. Now, this dog is like a statue, like one of those things you see on the side of a building looming over the city, very intimidating dog. But see, what I want to talk about is, if you're in a position where maybe your girlfriend has a dog or your boyfriend has a dog, and you're not a dog person, understandable. I was the same way, and I still am kind of more of a cat person, but having a dog, living with a dog, I can only surmise that even if you were, if this wasn't your dog and you were just forced to live with a dog for a month, your views would probably change. My view, sorry, I turned the fan on. If you guys hear that, it's just getting really hot in here. So my views, they changed very, very quickly. I kind of have like a soft spot for animals, but I remember when I was younger and someone had a dog, I was around a dog, I was always like grossed out by them. Their drool, how they are so affectionate to us, and their smell. Not to mention they're like kind of scary too, and if you've been bitten or chased, that could traumatize you. But once you either put down your guard or step outside of your comfort zone, which I'm going to go over in another video, is very important with a lot of things. Just compromising or stepping outside of what you would normally do. But that's another video. So I was in love with Bella very quickly. And those little things like drool and, slobber, and how they're just so affectionate towards you, unconditionally, grows on you. Now, I know that second one is kind of like weird. Matt, how can you be afraid or kind of freaked out about something that loves you unconditionally. Well, being a cat person, your whole life, you kind of want to defend the catness. People always saying, oh yeah, cats are nah, 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 nah. Well, my excuse was cats are, even though they're not technically independent, they act independent and they don't just bend over for you. That was my little, elementary, middle school type excuse for defending cats. But, now I see. I definitely understand why people are so, they would die for their dogs. And another thing, protection. It took me a while to step out of the into the light with dogs, but I definitely suggest you do that. I mean, one thing a dog that I've noticed that dogs notice, those cat people or people that don't like dogs, if you walk into, let's say, your friend's house and he's got a freaking 3 pit bulls, just, and they're kind of aggressive or whatever, what I think I could just guess here is that you're probably petrified, terrified, scared crapless of these dogs. They don't call dogs like one of the smartest animals for no reason. One story is when I was we had our dog. She was kind of about a year old. My grandma came over to see her, and she this dog is very scary looking, and she basically was stiff like a board. Now a dog sees his house or where he lives as his cave or his pack. He looks at us, or he or she looks at us like we're other dogs. I mean, one other thing is how do animals know to look in their a human being's eyes? Like, where did they learn that this is where we look out of? That's whatever. It's interesting to me. But if you look scared, and you're walking into this pack of people with their dog, that dog is going to pick up on your fear, and he or she is not going to know exactly how to react. So he'll probably run over to the alpha dog, which is probably the mother or the father of the household, and wonder what's going on. Probably try to communicate in some animalistic way. Why is this person not loving on me? Why is she not talking to me like the normal people? So what you're doing is you're breaking the normal. You're basically you basically look like an intruder. And when an intruder comes into your house, he's not loving on your dog. Maybe a smart one. Either way, a small dog, a big dog, they all pick up on this pack mentality, if you will, and it reflects. And that's probably why your dog, your neighbor's dog, is always so mean to you. Because, maybe you're coming off as a threat, or you are just not mixing well with the others. So the reason why, you probably can guess, is that they don't feel like you're a part of the pack. But now, let's talk cat and dog people. Now, let's say you're a cat person, or let's just say you're a dog person, actually. You've never owned a cat. Now, I want to talk to you. I'm on your side now, but about 5 years ago, me and you weren't cool. Now, it's one thing if, I'm make up excuses to defend myself against, I'm not going to say you people, the dog community. But it's another thing when I'm being antagonized, and I'm not saying I've gone through any trauma for being a cat person, but I've gone through some unnecessary, negativity in my conversations. That's jargon. That's bullshit. That's probably just the inner pussy cat in me. Now, if I was a dog person, now I can't say that 5 years ago I would have said this, but one thing I just don't get about the dog people, and I am now a dog person, is that what is the point of condemning someone else's choice in pets? And it's not the focus of this video, but it does have something to do with it. If we could just agree to disagree about cats and dogs. Now, there's no better animal, obviously. Obviously, if you're looking for protection, you're not gonna, try and get a cat, and you're an old lady, you're gonna need a little dog, but, doesn't mean you can't have a cat either, and it also doesn't, there's also some drawbacks as to having a dog. If you are an old woman, don't get a dog, you know what I mean? Maybe get a cat or get a little dog, something that'll make noise, if you're scared of intruders or whatever. But I highly recommend for someone who is into a calm, and listen, I'm not the professional here. In fact, I am below a professional, below amateur at this subject. I'm just giving you my opinion. But if you, wanted, a big dog and you're into like that macho-ness of having a dog, a big dog, you're going to walk 2 to 3 times a day. You're going to spend maybe $100 on food a week. You're going to have to be able to walk. You're going to have to give it some, exercise. These big dogs, like my dog, it's sad to say, only has a 10 to 12 year lifespan. That sucks. But, nevertheless, I digress. What I mean is, there's good things about all animals. It's kind of like faith, in a way. It doesn't matter what you're praying to or whatever, as long as it does the job. Now that we have, that we know that there are good things about all animals, there's no better one, whatever animal you choose. I just wanted to put a focus on how it was amazing that, I was able to, immediately love a dog really quickly. And I think a lot of cat lovers and a lot of cat haters, would feel the same if they just tried it. So, in conclusion, fellas and ladies, I am Matt Cat 319, and I will see you guys later. Throw up some thumbs if you want. Maybe click the subscribe button. But bottom line is, thank you for watching. Matt Cat 319. You guys are the awesome viewers. Take care.